Hello, welcome to another video, and today we're looking at an interesting exercise that's a variation of a lunge, but with probably almost a single leg deadlift, to be honest, as well. So let's have a look at how it works and then we'll break it down. So basically we're just using one of those little slidey discs that you could use on a carpet floor or or some sort of smooth surface. Alright, so you can see it looks very much like a lateral lunge, this position here, so you can see when he gets right out, almost like an ice skating position, so it really, you can see his technique is incredibly good here, like really lined up perfectly there. Different to the lateral lunge in that this leg here has to actually pull it back in as opposed to pushing back up off the leg. So there's a lot more work through the adductors on this leg, so the groin muscles on this left leg of Dylan's pulling the disc back inwards. On the stance leg, which is really the loaded leg, there's an incredible amount of work being done by the glutes here, which I'll show you in a bit more detail in a minute. Obviously all the quadriceps, the VMO, all of that, so it's a great knee strengthening exercise, but also for the hip as well. So obviously the adductors on this leg working quite hard. Now you can also build into almost like a multi-directional lunge capacity where you could bring in different angles, so almost like a diagonal position. And again, you can see how far he has to, you'll get a better visual of this in a minute, but he's really having to bend forward, so it's very much like a single leg deadlift but with more stability, because obviously this leg's on the ground, so you don't quite have the balance issues that would come into the foot and also the trunk moving in this frontal plane as much, but it still has to have that really smooth hip action, especially the stance legs, really copying and beating on this. And then obviously you can got the regular backward lunge, but it's not really a true lunge as such. It's really a hybrid between a lunge and a deadlift, so it could be a nice transition exercise between learning getting from like traditional deadlifts or lunges into the single leg, where we find a lot of people really struggle to execute good form once they go into single leg stance. This is almost like that in-between phase. Now obviously the logical thing is to add load, and in this case we're sort of playing with a dumbbell and a kettlebell, and the reason for this is the kettlebell, I could have used two kettlebells to be honest, but I find just having the dumbbell here, you can get deeper range over it, otherwise the kettlebell might hit the ground by holding it normally. So the dumbbell being a bit smaller can really encourage you to get deep range. The reason I use the kettlebell here, it's just easier to hold in as a clean grip. So, and the reason I want to have it like that is to encourage the trunk to stay really still so that we don't get any falling out, which we often see in single leg stance and call that shoulder sway, where you're losing all trunk stability to try and compensate around stiffness at the hip or weakness at the hip. Alright, so you're getting this same sort of lateral movement with the deep range, obviously with it loaded up. Both the dumbbell and the kettlebell are the same weight. And when you see on this angle, you get a real good appreciation of just how much it looks like a deadlift position here. Alright, so it's almost swear that it's almost a deadlift of some kind, just how far he has to bend over. Alright, so he's not trying to stay upright, almost has his shins vertical here like you would in a Romanian deadlift, and there's quite a fair bit of coming over with the trunk, so there's a huge amount of work being done through this part of the glutes and the posterior chain. So like I said before, great exercise for really getting that transition from two leg stance type of exercises into one leg. And the other beauty of it is in that front on position, just getting that the adductors really, and a lot of people will really feel that when they first do this. So all the adductors having to slide this disc back. Dylan made this look really easy, by the way. It's a lot harder than it looks like that. Alright, so anyway, so it's a great exercise if anyone with hip and knee pain. You can really find you'll get a bit more control from it than the one leg things. And it might allow you to sort of get to that next stage where you'll make bigger progress, really developing the strength in areas that have been neglected for some time. All right. I hope you've enjoyed that and it helps you out, and we'll see you on our next video.